Hello everyone, it's me Tish and welcome to my channel if you're new and welcome back if you are not. Today we're going to be talking about my September curriculum. Spawned on TikTok for me. I will put the creator that I got the idea from up here. This is her TikTok. I'm not sure if she has like Instagram or YouTube or anything like that, but I did want to put where I found the idea from before we did get started. If you find yourself on the same side of TikTok that I am right now, it is full of everybody doing their learning curriculums. Some of them are doing them monthly, some of them are doing them seasonally, and I thought it was such a wonderful idea. And honestly, I don't know why, as someone who really enjoys learning and who wants to continue to be a lifelong learner, that I have not done this in the past and that I have not done it already. So that's what I decided to do this month. We're starting out fairly small because I don't want to overwhelm myself, because I do have a tendency of doing or wanting to do a lot and then doing very, very little. So I have a few topics that I wanted to kind of dive into for this month. And I have my iPad here. And so starting off, we are going to do languages. I am going to go back to learning Korean. I tried to learn this off and on the past like 5 years, and eventually I just stopped because I could not get myself to be consistent with it. So I haven't been studying that at all. I do still know quite a few words and can still pick up on stuff, so I'm very proud that I've managed to retain a lot of what I did learn, but I'm very excited to kind of get back to it because I'm hoping to tack on Spanish either next month or the month after that, because I definitely want to get started on it before the year is over. So we're going to be going back to the basics with Korean, so technically it would be kind of like an intro to Korean. The next subject is going to be English, because I've decided that I have wanted to get back into writing things, and I have quite a few stories that I have started for myself and just haven't finished them. It would be a massive goal for me to finish these stories that have kind of just been wandering in my head for the past couple of years, and I would love to say that they're finished so that hopefully I can start other new things. But I kind of wanted to do a bit of a refresher course on grammar and things like that, because it's been like a good 10 years since I've officially been out of school, and that's a long time. And as much as I have, again, retained, there are still some things that I would like to kind of go over once again, just to make sure that I'm doing it correctly. I don't want to teach myself any bad habits and then end up writing in a shit way, you know? And I also would really like to start writing on Substack as well. That app and entire platform just seems like it was made for me and my interests. And I have loved what I've read so far, and I love how these subscriptions and things like that work. So I would really like to dive into that. And maybe hopefully also start a subscription there as well, where I write things, you know, specifically for my subscribers and things like that. But it's just like, obviously, this is right now, it's just an interest, and I just want to start writing over there and kind of exploring my feelings and thoughts about certain things, because I think that would be really, really fun. Next subject is going to be creativity, and for this, I kind of want to dive into just what makes me a creative. Like I've mentioned in my earlier videos, I have been struggling a bit with that just because I'm not quite sure what I honestly want to do anymore in that area. And so I kind of want to get a little deep with myself and kind of figure that out as well. And then last but not least is going to be the performing arts, which is going to be focused more on TV and film. I have mentioned it in previous videos from my older channels that I am an actor and I really enjoy acting. And it's something that I have put on the back burner for a little bit the past couple of years, and I would really like to get back to that and kind of reignite this part of myself that has always been a huge, huge thing for me. And so I would like to be doing that as well. Okay, so that concludes the things that I want to be learning this month or start learning this month, because this is all just for fun and just to help me keep up with my interests and things I want to learn. Some of this may spill over into October. Some of it may just last for September. I don't really know, but I'm excited to kind of take this at my own pace and make sure that I am really enjoying what I'm learning and really enjoying the process of learning in general. So for my creativity sector, I'm going to be showing you some of the resources that I'm going to be using for that. The first one is going to be The Artist's Way. This book is pretty popular on TikTok. It's pretty popular kind of everywhere when it comes to kind of diving deep into your creativity and kind of finding yourself and what that means for you. Essentially, it's just a workbook that you do, and I believe it's like a week by week basis. And so I'm very excited to get into this. I'm planning on starting this on Monday because I don't like starting things in the middle of the week. It just feels really weird for me. So I'm going to be starting this on Monday. I'm very excited about it. I know from what I've heard from other people doing this, it's definitely going to cause me to confront parts of myself that I don't know if I'm completely ready to do yet, but I know that I will do, and will get through it if it means that I can find a very good place for me to work from when it comes to creative stuff. And alongside with that, I will be reading The Creative Act, A Way of Being by Rick Rubin. Now, I've mentioned this book before, and originally it was a cover buy because I thought it was so cool and super minimalistic, and I thought it would look really good as a coffee table book. But I knew I was going to read it anyway. It wasn't just simply because it's pretty. It was something that definitely caught my eye because I haven't seen very many books that kind of put together self-help and creativity in this way. And so I'm really excited to read this as well as kind of the companion to The Artist's Way. Now, for the English section, I have found a few courses on Coursera that I think I'm going to take and do all the assignments for. One of them being English Comp, and basically it's kind of a rerun of everything that you do, very similar to like your first, I would say, English class like in high school, and also maybe even like a pre-AP English course. And then there is another one very similar to that vein, where it's kind of everything you need to learn before you go into college English and beyond. And I feel like those are perfect because when I say I need a refresher, it's definitely from things from high school that it's like I know them, but sometimes they kind of stump me, or I kind of second guess whether or not what I'm doing is actually correct. And so those are the courses I'll be taking for that. Now, as for the TV and film sector, I will be taking different monologues to practice just simply for myself, and so that I can get back into doing that, but also using that to kind of dissect character and seeing how that they would react in these certain scenes. I also want to do different scene studies from some of my favorite films where like I really admire the dialogue, or the dialogue like really gets me and hits me really hard, and I want to take the time to go over that and see where all of that emotion comes from, and watch those movies specifically so I can see how the actors are portraying that emotion. And I also do want to get into film study as well when it comes to this sector. So I'll probably start with films that I've already seen and that I know that I really, really love, so that I can really, really dedicate my time to picking up things I may not have noticed before, and just other things that I would otherwise kind of not pay as much attention to when I'm watching a movie for the first time. And so I think that's going to be really cool as well. I'm also going to start digging a little bit into cinematography. That's one of the things that I love the most. Movies would not be what they are without brilliant cinematography. And so I definitely want to get started on that. And that is something that I think will carry over into next month as well, because there's such a massive amount of information to get into when it comes to that. Okay, and lastly, the stuff that I'm going to be getting back into for Korean is going to be the Talk to Me in Korean books. I have level 1 and level 2, and when I was doing this consistently, I almost finished it. So I only have a few more lessons in this book, but unfortunately, I am going to have to go back to the front and kind of review everything that I know, and then finish this book, and then we'll be getting into level 2. That one also comes with a workbook, and I also have the workbook for level 2 as well. And some other resources I have that are just going to like accompany me making my way through those lessons and workbooks is going to be their verbs guide. I do have the volume 1 and volume 2 of that. Also, Real Life Korean Conversations for Beginners. I really enjoyed this book. The few that I did get to were very helpful, and I would read these out loud and also record myself while I was doing these, so that I could hear my pronunciation and know where things needed to be fixed or where I could be better at certain things, but very, very, very helpful. I'm also using the Easy Korean Reading for Beginners, and the same thing with this book as the previous one. I would read these stories and then also record myself while I was reading those, to again check on my pronunciation and just to kind of see the difference between when I read the first time and how much quicker I got reading it the second or third time through. Next will be my first 500 Korean words. So this is a vocab book. I actually didn't get into this book very much when I first started to study, mainly because I was picking up a lot of vocabulary just simply from doing the workbooks and watching videos and watching different variety shows. So I haven't looked into this, but I'm excited to use it because maybe I can kind of do like a page a day. Flipping through here quickly, it looks like they give you about 10 words to do a day, and then they kind of give you like additional pages to focus on that particular vocabulary for that day. So that seems fun. I wouldn't mind learning about 10 words a day, or maybe like 10 words every other day, just depending on how I set up my study schedule for this, but I'm looking forward to this as well. I also have volume 1 of the Vitamin Korean books. These are very popular for grammar, and I picked it up again as a companion to everything else because I'm someone that kind of has to get when there's something I don't quite understand, I kind of like to look at various sources in order to comprehend better, because I find that sometimes one source may explain it way better than the previous source I used, and so combining all of that together just gives me a better understanding of whatever it is that I'm working with. And when it comes to grammar, that works really well because grammar is very hard. And I would imagine that everybody struggles with grammar regardless of what language you're learning because it kind of sucks. And this is like my least favorite part, but it's so essential, obviously. And in that same vein, I also have Korean grammar in use, and this is the beginner's version. They have an intermediate one and an advanced as well. But again, this is one of those where I'm like, it's another source that I want to look at and look into to make sure that I'm getting my grammar down so that when I go to make my own sentences or when I go to have these conversations with myself or write down in my language journal, I know that I'm getting it correctly and I don't have to worry about going back and having to correct it several different times because I wasn't paying particular attention to the grammar. Okay, and that is going to do it for my September curriculum and all of the sources that I will be using. Obviously, I will be doing other fun stuff too, like watching videos and reading as something that I always do. And so I think it's just going to be a good time. If you have also heard about this, let me know down in the comments below if you like to do curriculums or if you do something similar already and you call it something different. I always think that's so cool. And again, like I said earlier, like I don't understand why I haven't designed something like this for myself. As a Virgo, I feel like that's the kind of structure that I have been needing and just haven't been giving it to myself. But I also know that like sometimes I tend to stray away. But hopefully this will be enough to keep me busy alongside all the other stuff that I have going on this month. And yeah, I will catch you all in the next video. Bye.